Hey everyone, welcome to the Divorce Dispatcher, where we dive into the wildest, most unbelievable stories of divorce, breakups, and family drama. Stories that'll leave you speechless. Today we have the story of Jacob.
Jacob, 45H, 42W. I grew up in a rural town where community and tradition shaped everything. My parents, Robert and Diane, were the epitome of hard work and resilience. Dad worked long hours at the factory, and Mom kept the household running smoothly, often juggling part-time work at the local library. Their marriage wasn't perfect. There were arguments and financial struggles, but they never let us kids see cracks in their foundation. They taught me that love meant sacrifice and loyalty. Trishelle's world couldn't have been more different. Born and raised in the heart of Chicago, she was the eldest of three siblings. Her father left when she was 8, leaving her mother to struggle to provide for them. Her mom, Melanie, was artistic and free-spirited, but unreliable. Bills went unpaid, and the meals were often whatever Trishelle could scrape together for her siblings. Despite their differences, Trishelle idolized her mother. She did the best she could, she'd say. If nothing else, she taught me to fight for what I want. It wasn't until years into our marriage that I realized how much Trishelle's chaotic upbringing had shaped her, and how it still haunted her. I met Trishelle at a friend's barbecue. She was visiting from Chicago, staying with a cousin who lived in my town. I'll never forget the moment she walked into the backyard. Her laugh carried across the lawn, and she had this energy that made everything else fade into the background. We hit it off immediately. I was 27, working as a general contractor, and she was 24, an aspiring artist trying to figure out her next steps. We started dating long distance, but after 6 months she moved to be closer to me. Our wedding was simple, but perfect. Trishelle made her bouquet of wildflowers she picked herself, and my mom sewed her veil. "I've never felt this safe," she whispered to me during our first dance. I believed her. The first few years were blissful. We rented a cozy little house, and Trishelle spent her days painting while I worked. Money was tight, but we made it work. Every Friday night, we'd share a bottle of wine and dream about our future, kids, a house of our own, her art gallery, and my construction company. When Lily was born, everything changed. Trishelle's pregnancy was difficult, and she struggled with severe postpartum depression after her birth. She would sit for hours, staring at the walls, barely responding when I tried to talk to her. "I feel like a ghost," she admitted one night. I begged her to see a doctor, and after months of convincing, she finally agreed. Therapy and medication helped, but she stopped both after a year. "I'm fine now," she insisted. 3 years later, Noah was born, and the cycle repeated, only worse. She became irritable, snapping at me and the kids over the smallest things. She started making reckless decisions, like buying expensive art supplies we couldn't afford, and skipping family events to focus on her work. I chalked it up to stress, but deep down I knew something wasn't right. Trishelle's behavior grew more erratic over the years. One day she'd be the vibrant woman I fell in love with, painting with Lily or baking cookies with Noah. The next, she'd lock herself in the bedroom for hours, refusing to talk to anyone. She began hiding things. Receipts for purchases she couldn't explain, text messages she quickly deleted when I walked into the room. "Who are you texting?" I asked once, trying to keep my voice calm. "Just a friend," she said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She started staying out late, claiming she was meeting up with friends or attending art exhibits, but when I'd ask for details, her answers were vague. "You don't need to worry about it," she'd say. A year ago, Trishelle seemed to make a genuine effort to turn things around. She started making dinners again, attending Noah's soccer games, and even planned a weekend getaway for the two of us. "I want us to be a team again," she said, holding my hand. I wanted to believe her, but the red flags were still there. Her phone was glued to her hand, and she'd step outside to take calls. She'd come home smelling like a perfume I didn't recognize, brushing off my questions with a laugh. Then came the night she suggested a romantic dinner at home. She wore the dress I loved, made my favorite meal, and played our wedding song. For the first time in months, I felt like we were reconnecting. The next morning, she invited one of her friends over, who hugged me and then handed me an envelope. Divorce papers. Trishelle left that same day, suitcase in hand. She didn't say goodbye to the kids. When I checked our bank accounts, my heart sank. She'd emptied our savings, $100,000 gone. The hardest part was explaining her absence to Lily and Noah. "Where's Mom?" Noah asked, his big blue eyes filled with confusion. "She needed some time away," I said, forcing a smile. Weeks turned into months, and we didn't hear from her. Then, out of the blue, I got a call from a psychiatric hospital. Trishelle had been found wandering the streets with no shirt on, disoriented and confused about walking into traffic. She'd stopped taking her medication and spiraled into a manic episode. Questions for the divorce dispatcher. Can I use her mental health issues in the custody battle, or will the court see it as unfair? Should I tell the kids the truth about her condition, or is it better to protect them from it?
Divorce dispatcher is here. You rang? Jacob is dealing with issues that have increasingly become more common with people is the breakdown of their mental health. Mental health is a sensitive issue in custody battles. Courts prioritize the well-being of the children, so Trishelle's struggles could influence custody arrangements, especially if she refuses treatment. The consistent ability to take care of herself will be important to ensure she is able to take care of her minor children. Jacob should consult a child therapist to help decide how much to share with the kids. Transparency is important, but must be age-appropriate.
Update 2, the legal battle. The divorce process was brutal. Trishelle filed false allegations against me, claiming neglect and emotional abuse. The court dismissed the claims, but the damage was done. Friends and family began to distance themselves, unsure of what to believe. Some took her side and thought I had to have done something to make her have a mental health breakdown. The custody battle was even harder. Trishelle's lawyer painted her as a loving mother who had made mistakes, but deserved a chance to rebuild her relationship with the kids. My lawyer countered with evidence of her erratic behavior and refusal to seek treatment, which can impact her day-to-day ability to care for the children. The video and pictures of her wandering outside with no top on. Although I felt a little dirty when my lawyer suggested using it was one of the key visuals pieces of evidence that I think make our case. The judge granted my divorce and ultimately awarded me primary custody, with Trishelle granted supervised visitation every other weekend. I got to keep the house and stayed there for the stability of the children, as that is where Trishelle was ordered to do those supervised visits. But she rarely showed up. The few times she did, she seemed distant, as if she were going through the motions. For those months after the divorce, the house felt just like that, a house, but not the home I had dreamed of when I bought it with my wife. My kids were content. That was one less thing that changed around them after all the drama with the divorce. So, that was all that mattered to me. My daughter Lily blamed me. "You pushed her away," she said, tears streaming down her face after one of her many no-shows. Noah, on the other hand, shut down completely, refusing to talk about his mom. Questions for divorce dispatcher. How do I rebuild my relationship with the kids when they think I'm the villain? Is there any way to ensure Trishelle gets the help she needs, even after the divorce?
Divorce dispatcher is here. You rang? Rebuilding trust with children takes time and consistent effort. Family therapy can help open lines of communication and allow the kids to process their emotions in a safe space. As for Trishelle, the court can mandate therapy as part of the custody arrangement, but enforcement depends on state laws and follow-up documentation. Update 3, a year later. A year later, life is starting to stabilize. The kids are adjusting to their new reality thanks to therapy. Lily has started journaling, a suggestion from her counselor, and Noah has taken up soccer again. As for Trishelle, she reached out recently, asking for another chance. "I'm better now," she said. "I just want to make things right and get back with you, my love." But I can't go back. The wounds are too deep, and I've finally started to find myself again. Setting hard boundaries has been so important to my ability to stand firm with her. She must show a consistent pattern of changed behavior for the children not to get back with me. I am fine being single, and when I date, it is just for fun, as I have little time to give to a committed relationship now. Final divorce dispatcher. Commentary. Jacob's story is a stark reminder of the challenges mental health issues can bring to a marriage. While love and loyalty are important, they can't replace professional help and personal accountability. His journey shows the importance of legal protection, therapy, and resilience. What would you do if you were in Jacob's shoes? Let us know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Your support means a lot, and we love hearing from you in the comments. Divorce Dispatch is signing off duty. Until next time, take care.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Divorce Dispatcher, where we dive into the wildest, most unbelievable stories of divorce, breakups, and family drama. Stories that'll leave you speechless. This is the story of Alessandra.
Wife, 35. Husband, 37. Brian and I were the perfect couple on the outside. We had the house, the cars, the friends who envied our lifestyle. I had left my job to be a stay-at-home mom, and Brian worked long hours to maintain the high standard of living we had set for ourselves. We were the family that everyone looked up to, the couple that had it all. But behind the scenes, things were crumbling. Brian started working longer and longer hours, leaving me to handle everything at home. I was overwhelmed and lonely, and I started seeking comfort in shopping. It was easy to hide my spending. Brian never looked at the bank statements, and credit card bills went straight to my email. I justified it by telling myself it was for the kids, for our home, for keeping up the image that Brian wanted. But the shopping spiraled out of control. I opened new credit cards, took out loans in Brian's name, and juggled payments to keep everything from falling apart. It was a game of financial juggling, and I was always one step away from disaster. Brian had no idea that our finances were in shambles. I hid the bills, deleted the emails, and smiled at every dinner party like nothing was wrong. When Brian finally found out, it was too late. We were drowning in debt, on the brink of losing everything. I begged him to understand, to see that I had been trying to keep up with the life he wanted for us. But Brian was furious. He felt betrayed, humiliated, and broke down in tears the night he discovered just how much I had hidden. I wanted to fix things, but Brian couldn't look at me without seeing the lies. He filed for divorce, and the truth of our situation came out. I had ruined us, and there was no going back. What happens when financial deceit tears a marriage apart? Can you recover financially when your partner's hidden spending habits come to light? How do you move forward from a betrayal that hits so close to home?
Hello, Divorce Dispatcher. You rang? Divorce Dispatcher is here to answer your questions. When financial deceit is the root cause of a marriage breakdown, the legal implications can be complex, particularly when it comes to the division of assets and debts. If one spouse's reckless spending or hidden debts have put the family at risk, the court may take this into account when dividing assets and liabilities. However, it's not always easy to separate personal debt from marital debt, especially when the finances have been intertwined for years. Documenting the nature of the spending and proving that it was hidden or reckless can be vital to protecting your financial future. It's also crucial to act quickly to protect your credit and assets. Requesting a credit freeze, monitoring your accounts, and working closely with a financial advisor can help you mitigate the damage. Bankruptcy might be an option, but it's important to consult with legal and financial professionals to understand the full impact. Moving forward emotionally will be just as challenging. Rebuilding trust, both with yourself and others, takes time and support. Seeking therapy can help navigate the guilt, anger, and grief that often accompany financial betrayals. To our audience, have you ever discovered financial secrets in your marriage? How did you navigate the emotional and legal challenges? Share your experiences in the comments below, and let's support one another. Disclaimer: the information provided here is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please consult a qualified attorney in your location for specific legal advice. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Your support means a lot, and we love hearing from you in the comments. Divorce Dispatch is signing off duty.